here. Good morning. Welcome to our coffee chat. Super exciting today. We got great news to share with you, as well as an awesome topic that I was telling Deb. Like, I was working on the presentation and I was wanted to send it to her, and I'm like, girl, I just had to stop because there's a lot of information when it comes to fiber and the importance in your gut health. And this is the book we're going to read in August. And I just started kind of like going through it a little bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could just like totally just, I said, I just got to send it to you. So we won't make it too long, but putting it together is just fun. I enjoy doing that. So let's get started with Sharon the. Okay, so trying another new thing. Do you guys see that okay?
It's kind of offset centered. There we go. Perfect.
Okay. I think, and then if I move you, I can see everything. Okay, so it's May 22nd, and jumping for joy, the better weather is coming and some exciting news. So much is going to be coming down the pipe. But next on the coffee chat next weekend, we're going to wrap up our Eat Smarter. Kind of haven't been really involved in that book, but he talks a lot more in depth about the things that we're doing. So if you've been listening to the audio, then you know. And then we're going to ramp up for June, because can you believe we're already just kind of like heading into prep week for our June group. Tomorrow, BOD, the Control Freak drops into the BOD library for every member. And then we still have our Summer Strong sale, so $20 off all packs through the end of the month. So exciting. We have a new Shakeology flavor that is going to be available next month, June 22nd, cookies and creamy. It's a vegan one. That's why they call it creamy, because it doesn't have any cream in it. And it's vegan, and it's going to be certified gluten-free, which all the Shakeology is gluten-free, but because of the facility that they had been, putting it together in, that they couldn't certify it or go through that process of certification. So now they are, and so they're going to also roll out all the other vegan flavors in certified gluten-free. So super excited, cookies and creamy. And I think it's going to be my new favorite.
Also, they're going to add more increased probiotics as well. So
right,
be included on this new formula. And they're going to phase it all in the summer on all the vegan based Shakeology.
Right. That's yes. Which I'm going to, at the end, we're going to talk just a second about prebiotics and probiotics, and you'll see kind of the importance of that. But that's exciting news for sure. And then BOD-I, body. This is the big thing with the mixed bike coming out. So similar to Peloton, Beachbody's going to have a bike, and they're going to have interactive workouts. And so it's called BOD-I, which is BOD Interactive. So you can actually go in and schedule a workout. They'll have the live schedule, and then you can click that you're going to attend that workout. So you save a spot. And there's not like a limited number, like if you were going to a spin class. But the first one, I think it's the first 100 will get featured on, you see this screen here, if you choose to. And the live trainer will see you, and they'll be able to, shout you out like, good job on your burpee form, Deb, or, fix they'll just be able to like actually talk with you, like live interaction. And so how this all exactly works, the more details are coming in July. So they just let us know this is coming. It's going to be, for everybody who's a Nutrition Plus member right now, which is the membership getting the monthly fix and the mindset mentorship. Yeah. They'll be able to do a beta testing of this in August. And then it's due to launch in September. I'm not exactly sure when the bike will be available. I know by December. So they just kind of say fall 2021. So if you're a Nutrition Plus member, you're going to kind of like get the first taste of this. So I'm super excited. Then in July, at the same time that this 645 brand new workout launches, they're right now refilming Portion Fix. So they're giving it a makeover. They're making it more simple. They're shorter videos. They've got it in 3 different tiers. So they kind of bring back the simplicity of Portion Fix, which was the whole intent of having, you know, the containers and just the simplistic of just eat 4 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these, you know, and then how we do it with bookending our day and how we meal plan. Like it's just going to help us and other new people coming in to just kind of really grasp the Portion Fix principles in a much more simple manner. And it's going to come, and it's also going to have a couple of new features where it's going to talk about intermittent fasting and how to do that with the Portion Fix. And because Amwala that's what he does. He's an intermittent fasting guru, and he promotes that. And so he'll be talking about that too when he launches his program. Now he's a professional trainer with professional athletes. So he's going to bring that. This is going to be an interesting program. It's about, you know, getting up and actually getting your body moving in a way that's functional. And I'll put out some of the informational tidbits on this program because he did 6 weeks of work, which was pretty intense program. This I think is going to be a little bit less intense, although he just brings it, right? So that's coming in July. And then we have a new trainer that's coming on board, and she is a former Peloton trainer, and she's going to be our new super trainer. So not only is she going to be doing a lot of live of the bike workouts, the spins, she's actually going to do a new program like that's going to be on BOD. And then, so we'll see that in December, but you're going to hear more about her as we go into fall.
Her name is Jennifer Jacobs.
Jennifer Jacobs. Yeah. If you
Also,
Google her, you see all kinds of stuff. Yes, Deb?
yeah, also on the Nutrition Plus, not only will you get the fitness, you're actually going to get live cooking shows with Bobby, and I think Alana as well. So you can kind of follow along and cook with them as part of the Nutrition Plus. And so that's going to be pretty exciting. And the other thing, 645, it's like 6 days a week, 45-minute workouts. But he is also coming out with 630, 6 days a week, 30-minute workouts. So I think those will be part of the Nutrition Plus content. So yeah.
Yeah, and there'll be live interactive meal prep with Autumn too.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. That'll be fun. And it's probably going to be a lot like this here. You sign up to do it. You get on the first 100 or whatever, and she can interact with you. I don't know how they'll do that with the kitchen, but we'll see. So this is all, there's like lots of questions, but it's exciting stuff coming down. Now the body with the Nutrition Plus currently is $19.95 a month. That's what it's going to be. So you're not paying any more. If you already have Nutrition Plus, this is just going to start showing up in your Nutrition Plus membership. So it's not anymore. If you're a coach or you get the VIP discount, it's $14.95 a month. So yeah. Sweet deal to be able to have this. The bike workouts are not exclusive to this bike. So if you have a bike, I don't know how it works, but you can do this with that bike. I know Peloton right now, I just saw an ad, was $50 a month for theirs. Yeah. So, you know, maybe you got the Peloton bike and you want to just like save some money and do the workouts here. Right. And then there'll be some pre-recorded workouts as well on the Nutrition Plus. So there's going to be the BOD library of all the pre-recorded programs you do start to finish. And then there's going to be live interactive workouts with some bonus workouts like the sneak or freak week, 6:30. Shanti's doing some Let's Get Up workouts that are going to be on Nutrition Plus. So over there, you'll have live plus some pre-recorded programs. So super excited. So in July, we have our coach summit and we're going to get all the details and we'll roll those out to you. Just know this is coming out next month. So I can't wait. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we head into the topic of fiber? Okay. So, you know, Deb and I are excited about the news and we're going to be bringing you all the details. Okay. Can you still see the slides?
Yes.
Okay, good. So get refreshed. Deb has set up our Honor Thy Body refresh group. It's going to start Monday with a week of like prepping. So we're going to use this sort of as our prep and our 3-day refresh group. I would encourage you to be in there, even if you're not going to do the 3-day refresh, because it'll get you refocused and ready. And it's going to touch base on all the things that we need to do that, get refocused and ready for rolling into a new month, like talking about sleep and water and, you know, pooping and making sure you get a variety of foods. So request to join this and get in there next week to go through the prep portion at least, okay? And if you then decide to do a 3-day refresh, let us know and we'll make sure that you get all set up and good to go with that when you get your kit. So why cleanse? There are some nutritionists, dietitians that actually say you don't need to ever cleanse, which if you're eating, you know, pretty strict and clean, maybe. I think it's good for us because of what happens in the gut. And if you start reading this, you'll think it's good too. Just because we can't control everything. The breathing, the air that we breathe is far from pristine. The drinking water isn't as pure as it used to be. You know, we're eating foods that are laced with things we can't even pronounce, and we're absorbing toxins just sleeping on our pillows at night and in our kids' toys. There's certain things that are in those these days. So our body is super resilient. That's the good news. You know, like it's this efficient machine that has a natural detox system in it. But that gets clogged up and the toxins just kind of build up because right now that is being pushed to the limits as far as how our body can keep up with all this. And how it shows up is we have lower energy, we start gaining weight, we have weakened immune system, we have anxiety, we have depression, we have hard to sleep. It shows up in all kinds of ways because of what's happening internally at the cellular level. So I just put this like here to cleaning the face because like we wash off our, you know, our makeup or we shower, wash the stink off. It's good to clean out your gut. And we'll talk more about that here. Deb, jump in anytime with tidbits that you have, okay?
Okay.
So fiber intake, that's really what we're going to get at today. It's how and why, how to increase your intake properly and, you know, why you should have it. What we've noticed when we're doing some 3-day refreshes, sometimes people, especially the people who are doing it the first time, is like they start day 1 and then they're like, oh my gosh, I am so bloated and uncomfortable. My stomach hurts or I'm constipated or, you know, I feel sick. And part of that is because they've gotten this bam of fiber all of a sudden and they haven't been eating it regularly on the daily, getting sufficient amounts. So you should have between 25 to 30 grams a day. In the United States and in Canada, I checked this, we're getting about half of that. So 15 grams a day. So half the recommended amount. I put this out there because I thought we had talked at I thought we did a coffee chat on fiber, but it wasn't in my recordings. So on YouTube, I have a playlist for coffee chats and it wasn't there. So I did do this when I was in the hospital with my brother because I was super excited when my husband brought me my digestive health. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. So I did a little live thing on it. So it's like 7 minutes long and goes into, some of the stuff we're talking about today. So you can go check that out there. You just have to look at my IGTVs. So one of the main things you can do to be very simple about this is eat variety. So this quote I liked in the Fiber Fuel: the single greatest predictor of a healthy gut microbiome is the diversity of the plants in one's diet. So, I do this too. I sort of get set in my ways in eating the same thing. My apple and carrots and celery with my peanut butter, almond butter, certain things on my salads. Like we did this 1 week gut health challenge where we were trying to you should eat 30 different plant-based foods in each week. That'll help you ensure that you're getting, the rainbow of plants and all the phytonutrients that come with them, including lots of fiber. So maybe if you still have this, or if you want me to send this to you, but we also have this food list, right? And we're all getting much more knowledgeable about the plant foods here, like the beans and the lentils and the chia seeds and the flax seeds. It's not just fruits and veggies. So make sure, look at these again, and then start picking out, making sure if you're in that kind of a eating everything the same all the time, start adding in some other things, especially if you don't feel like you're getting enough fiber.
Yeah, I think that's where we were in a deep dive look with Autumn, was like try to get the diversity of vegetables, at least 30 different kinds a week type of thing. And it's good to kind of do that just as an exercise for yourself. And it says so right there in that little 1 week challenge there. So 30 or more different types of veggies. Yeah.
It is literally a gut check. So, every now and then, just because when you get this, in your in the monthly fix, and if you don't have that currently, get it, because exciting stuff is happening over there. But if you need this with the tracker, I can send it to you.
Yeah.
But and just maybe once a month do this. Like, am I eating a variety? Like, and we kept track of how many foods we were eating, different plant-based foods we were eating each week. So some fiber-rich foods, because there's lots out there, and you can just be resourceful and Google. But don't overthink this. Like, let's just eat the rainbow. Like, eat plant-based foods, and you're going to get tons of vitamins and minerals and fiber and lots of other things. So, these are just some fiber-rich foods. So if there's things on here that maybe you haven't had in a while, cabbage or mushrooms or beans, sweet potatoes, collard greens, acorn squash. There's a really good recipe for acorn squash if you just Google it in our blog, the Beachbody blog. That's part of, I learned in the reset, which we're going to do in August.
Yeah.
So pick some things out. So one of the things, though, that both the books, Fiber Fueled and Eat Smarter, talk about, and I've heard this too, like, this is not new information, is this protein called lectin, and it's in with the gluten. Same thing as concept with the gluten. It's a protein that binds to carbohydrates, and our body doesn't digest that. So if you don't cook your beans and your legumes and your grains, the lectin amount in those is not healthy. And because what happens is that ends up in your gut, it can't digest it, it can't break it down. And so it will actually permeate your gut lining. And, and it just ends up causing havoc in our system. So, and this is one of the big villains of leaky gut. So just make sure if you're having beans, legumes, grains, that they're cooked properly. And again, be resourceful. Look, go ahead and Google lectin, beans, whatever, how to decrease the lectin in my beans. So big exclamation point is just to increase intake gradually. So if you're not getting enough, and how do you know? Like, that's why it's good to do the gut check. If you're getting 30 different variety of plants in a week, you're probably getting enough. If you wanted to get geeky about it and like figure out how many grams in each of these different foods to see what your intake is, like you don't have to do that every day, every week, but maybe during the week when you're doing your gut check that you do look at how much fiber you're getting. But increase it gradually. And we're really pretty good, I think, because we do focus on getting more veggies and, fruits and our healthy fats to help with that. And plus we have our Shakeology, which has a good amount of fiber and the prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. So obviously, if you kind of like go all in with the fiber, you're gonna see the side effects of gas and flatulence and bloating. So if you're jumping into a 3-day refresh, this is probably what's going to happen. Because yep.
Go ahead.
Well, I should say the fiber sweep, it is 13 grams of fiber. So you're getting this dump of fiber in the morning, and which is probably the total amount that you've been getting every day. And then you're eating veggies and fruits on top of that. So, so what Deb has lined up in the prep week is to just a reminder to gradually increase be aware of your fiber intake through this week before you start the 3-day refresh. So that'll be another good thing that if you're going through this, and you're not doing the 3-day refresh, you're going to start gradually increasing your intake.
Yeah. Yeah, because it says so right here in the 3-day refresh program guide. It says it's a good idea to prepare for the 3-day refresh by eating a large salad each day or a few servings of fresh veggies for the week leading up to the 3-day refresh, because it says bombing your body with all this daily fiber can get quite uncomfortable. So if you're eating too much carbs and sugar, so
right, especially if you're kind of like had been a little more heavy in the processed foods and the carbs and going protein heavy, like this could. So I love this saying here, like water and fiber are the two things that are going to cleanse your system the most. And that's Dennis Fay. He's been with Beachbody forever, the executive director of nutrition. Super cute guy. Like he's an older man, but he did some lives and he's just so into his nutrition. And he's funny. Yeah. So our body has this natural system of detoxing, but sometimes you have to cleanse because of that buildup. But if you're drinking your water, like we always encourage, and then you're making sure you're getting sufficient amount of fiber every day, you're going to help your body with that process. Also, jumping or having some sort of bouncing. So running, or even if you're doing low impact, no impact, but you're doing the movement, right? Our lymphatic system doesn't have pumps. So our moving helps our detox system detox.
Keep things moving along.
Keeps it moving along, yeah. So that's gas, bloating, and constipation. Okay, she was supposed to say, oh no, but I downloaded this into a PDF. So anyway. So if you've got a sensitive gut dysbiosis, which is, it's really just a damaged gut. It's where you're out of proportion with healthy bacteria and the other bacteria that's more opportunistic, or irritable bowel syndrome. So people who have these need more fiber, but they're the ones that are going to struggle the most to eat it. So if you have gas, bloating, and cramps, it generally indicates that your gut has been damaged. My husband's cleaning the gun. You don't mind him. So you have to fix the gut to reap the rewards of better health. So this is why I believe in doing, periodic cleanse, doing this reset that we're going to do in August. And to fix the gut, we know we need fiber, water, and a diversity of plants. So it can be very simple. It's just being very mindful of what you have to do. And then constipation is a whole other beast. And I was reading about this in the Fiber Fueled. As a kid, when I was growing up, I was bad gas, bloating, constipation. And what I learned I had a spastic colon. It's like a spastic colon as a kid. I'm like, oh my gosh. And your colon wraps certain ways like this, but mine didn't. Mine had like this extra hump in there. So a couple of things that were causing me some problems. Like I would get these very sharp pains where I couldn't even stand up straight. And in the day, what they had me eating was I'd get a bag of bran from the store and it looked like sawdust. And I would have to throw that in some milk and stir it up and drink it. And now knowing what milk does was totally counteractive. And then this bran, which was just so dense, rough that I'm sure my gut was just like, what the? So let's just eat plants. Like, let's just have fun, fruits and veggies. But it's another beast because it can be the cause of your gas and your bloating, and it has this vicious cycle. So methane gas slows gut motility, causing constipation. And it is motility. I looked it up.
Okay.
I downloaded this PDF before you made the change. I forgot about that. So you get constipated, like you get all bunged up here, and then the constipation increases the amount of gas we produce from the food that you're eating. And so it's just this cycle, right? So you definitely want to look at this. If you feel like you're constipated, you don't want to do a 3-day refresh first. You want to talk to your doctor and get your constipation under control before you start making dietary changes, because it's not going to help to put more fiber in there right now until you can get your constipation under order. So just things to consider is your history of it. If your poops are little nuggets, little turds, or if you go a day or more without a poop, you're definitely constipated.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is sometimes you can have diarrhea with constipation because it's so clogged up that the only thing that can get through, the analogy is like this, all these logs in the river, and it's stopping the river from flowing, but even through the logs and stuff, some water's getting through, because that, if the liquid can get through, but all the solids are starting to stack up. So that comes out just as liquid. So you think I got diarrhea. So then you take an antidiuretic or diarrhea, and then you're more constipated. So definitely talk to your doctor if you're having issues like this. I ended up in the ER once with bowel obstruction.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. It was like labor pain. I was like, what the?
And some people have dead intestines. They have to remove. I forget what that call it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Their doctor will do an x-ray of your intestines and they can see if you're backed up in there. And I think I've shared with you guys before, like when I was having some issues, just not long ago, a couple of years ago, 'cause time flies. I mean, I'm regular, I poop every day, but he says, you got way too much poop sitting in there. And it's not good to have poop sitting in your intestine, because it old poop sitting in there is just not good for your body, right? So prebiotics and probiotics. There's a couple of relevant monthly fixed topics. So in November, we talked about the gut health. That's the one with the plant diversity. January of this year, she went into food sensitivities, allergies, and intolerances, which if your have gut dysbiosis, damaged gut, these are going to happen. You'll start seeing yourself sensitive to food. And it's a lot of that thing. If you're not, moving normally, other things are going to happen, like that you're going to eat something and it's like, oh, this makes me ill or whatever. And then in February, the power of plant-based diet. So go check those out. Food comes first, but having supplements can improve your ability to actually process fiber and reduce the digestive stress that comes from the dysbiosis or the damaged gut. Which like Deb had mentioned, in our Shakeology, there's prebiotics and probiotics. They're going to up the probiotic which actually is live microorganisms that boost the health of the gut microbiome. So it's like the healthy bacteria that we have in our gut now. If it's out of balance, this is a way to introduce more of the healthy gut, because whichever one is more is the one that's going to take over. And whichever one you're feeding more is going to proliferate. It's going to grow. So if you're eating lots of processed or sugary foods, your the unhealthy bacteria in there feeds on that and multiplies and it overpowers the gut and that whole environment in there. So prebiotics are actually the food that you give your healthy gut microbes, and probiotics are healthy microbes, right? So that we're introducing more of those healthy microbes into our system with Shakeology, and now even they're going to boost that up a little even more.
Well, what's interesting with this is that if you eat smarter, it's he goes in great length in chapter 3, support your microbiome. And he explains it really well, Sean Stevenson. And then what I think you were telling me, Louise, is the probiotics. There's not very many products out there that have both the prebiotics and probiotics. And I think we're very fortunate to have that in Shakeology and in Digestive Boost. So.
Yeah, and we have live digestive enzymes. So those are even separate from prebiotics and probiotics. So you have this trifecta of, powerhouse for your gut. Something else I was going to say. Anyway, so important to note, toxins, processed foods, preservatives, additives, they all feed the unhealthy, opportunistic bacteria in your gut. So that's why we're greatly reducing, them from our daily nutrition. And darn it, I hate it when I miss something goes. Okay, so in August, we're going to read this book. I'm not sure I can wait now. I want to dive into it. You can, I looked up his website too, because I was looking for, like a graphic for constipation, but had to create my own. And he does like you can go through like a 7-week course and just learn about your gut health.
He's a gastroenterologist.
Yeah. Gut health expert, Dr. B. And he's on Instagram. So I don't know. I forgot. Oh, this is what it was. So the probiotics, if it's not, there's certain ones, there's a lot of different probiotics, but there's only this strain that actually survives your stomach acid. And that's the lactobacillus, whatever. That's not syphilis, but yeah. And that's the way you get in Shakeology. So you can get these probiotics on the market and take them and think you're doing well, but it's not actually getting to your intestines. It's not actually getting to where it needs because in the stomach, it's dying out. So it should be this live microorganism that can live through that stomach acid, which we get that in Shakeology. And yeah, so quick tips. Deb has this lined out in the Honor Thy Body group, but to do your research on the cleanse, so read through it, read through your program guide with the 3-day refresh. There's a maintenance guide. If you're doing the reset with us, you can actually go into the program materials and start looking at that. The reset is more than just your body. They talk about your mind. You do this pre-assessment of where you're at mentally, emotionally, where you feel at peace, how your body feels. Like it's really in depth on just a very holistic approach to resetting everything. So do your research on that. Do eat more fiber. Just do it gradually. Do cut back, like Deb said, a salad a day if you're not eating that. Make sure you're getting all your greens. Do cut back on the caffeine before you do your cleanse. I never give mine up, but I'm mindful of drinking less coffee. And don't go on a pre-cleanse binge. So don't dump a whole bunch of junk into your gut, the week before or the night before. Like, oh, I'm going to cleanse tomorrow, and now I'm going to eat all the junk. Because what you're doing is setting yourself up for a toxic storm. Because then you're going to throw the fiber in there, and your gut is just going to be like, it's going to rebel. So, as I said, if you get in the Honor Thy group, it starts Monday. She's got posts in there to walk us through in more in-depth on these and other topics. So thank you, ladies, for showing up to our coffee chat. So any questions on that? How do you feel like your fiber intake is? Good, bad? Use some work?
I was wondering, because I took out my Shakeology package, and I was wondering, how do you find where the probiotic ingredient is? Because I was trying to look to see, but like the bacillus, maybe? I don't know. You said something about, okay.
Let me see if I have them up here. Oh, there we go. I keep a bag in my closet.
On the bullet. There's a bullet proprietary. On the very last one, it says pre and probiotic digestive enzyme blend. And it has a list of all the enzymes and stuff that's within the bag.
So it's the Bacillus coagulans.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, there's a lot on the back there. So I was like trying to figure out which one it was.
Yep. Yeah, in the proprietary blend too, it talks about it. Well, it has the bacillus in there. I will post a thing in the kind of like a graphic with the specific information, like pull it out.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. It's so important. It is. Karen?
Well, I think I eat quite a bit of fiber. I mean, I could always use improvement, but I think overall I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to do your diversity gut check.
Yeah.
Because you and I like that. We have our same things we like all the time. Yes. Yeah, plead the fifth.
I tell you that 1 week of travel I had, I was not good. And I was even, Louise was coaching me. It's like, get some coconut oil in your coffee, get some, stuff to get my digestive going, because I was doing the moose poop, and it was like, gosh, so, and I just traveling altogether.
Right.
Passes out your system, and then whole time change, 3 hours can make a big difference on what you're used to doing on your daily basis on eating. And so
your body knows.
Yeah. Or carbs. My sister-in-law, I love her to death, but she has cake and pie. Like, oh, I just can't help myself.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's getting back in order slowly but surely.
Yes. So how you doing, Linda? With your fiber, you think?
I need to improve on fiber. My issue is not constipation. I have severe diarrhea. And I just got through having a food sensitivity test. And I should not be surprised, but little sis, the number one of the food sensitivity, flaxseed.
Me too. Yeah.
And that's in our Shakeology, the digestive health. It's in our bars. And so I've been asked by my doctor to do elimination diet,
Mm.
gave me a 4-day rotation diet, which supports the diversity idea of vegetables and stuff like that. So yeah. And so I've been slacking off on my meal planning, I'll confess. But I am planning on doing the refresh anyway, and start the elimination diet, which is 8 weeks. And the 2 other areas that I need to watch is wheat and dairy.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I need to be happy about this. And I hope to have a colonoscopy next month to see what's going on in my poor gut.
And you're listening to Eat Smarter, right?
Excuse me?
You're listening to Eat Smarter?
Yes.
Yeah. So he talks about the wheat and the gluten and even the dairy.
That's what's been prompting me, was listening to him. And this issue with diarrhea is going on, believe it or not, since I started this program. So I don't know if it's this program or I'm changing or what, but I don't think it's the product. I think there's something else going on, with my gut. And this, and also I have hypothyroid, and I don't have a gallbladder. So those 2 things could influence my digestion.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I need to be more prudent on my and disciplined. And my card today, I'm committed. John takes me to the behavioral science floor, but I need to be more committed for me.
Mm.
The why.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sis, just like Ken, it's all up in the mind for his triathlon. This program and everything, it's here for me. And so deprogramming and reprogramming me is progress.
That's a great point. You got to get your mind on board with what you're doing. It's like, otherwise we're in our constant battle with ourselves. So super important. Keep us updated on your progress and what you're learning with that. Because food sensitivities aren't like a lifelong thing. It's like you can retrain your gut so that it's not sensitive to those things. So as you figure that out, hopefully flaxseed doesn't give you such a problem.
You know what? I'm not bending over. I'm not on the dairy. I'm mindful about it, like sis, but it really doesn't bother me, or I don't stink so bad. But if I have like cheese at lunch and yogurt in the morning, and then evening had something else to do with dairy, yes, I start stinking. So I don't eat that much of cheese, really.
Yeah. And that's what I've learned. It's small amounts is okay. Your body can process that. It's when you have lots of it.
And then the dairy, I mean, that was dairy. The wheat, I tried, the Fix-It says 4 carb servings. And I love my bread, but I've been very mindful of limiting it one slice of bread a day.
Mm-hmm.
Whole wheat usually. And next favorite is sourdough, but
yeah,
that's about wheat. And I don't eat that much pasta hardly anymore. So this elimination diet, this is not my first one, this is my third one, will, now that I have these tools and reading these books and everything gives me the education that I needed to fine tune this so I can start feeling better, because my energy is low still, and you know, but I'm still moving along here. So
Yeah, with your knowledge, you'll have a different experience with this elimination diet. So definitely
oh,
share what you've learned.
that's one thing I'm hoping to improve on. It's the inflammation, because the arthritis, the osteoarthritis is not really getting to me, but I can feel it. So
Yeah,
yeah, and it makes me tired in the afternoon, but I don't want to take synthetics.
yeah.
And I don't want to take ibuprofen either. You know, it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
severe.
that doesn't
It's
help.
not that severe for me to have to do that, and I don't want to go there.
Well, we're
Story.
we're cheering you on, and get it figured out and get that happy spot. Yeah. Well, final thoughts, Deb?
Well, yeah, and I been studying on the ultimate reset, and it's a 3-day refresh is a micro way of doing a cleanse, but this ultimate is a macro 21-day. It's the first phase of it, the first week, it's reclaiming your body and your system, and it's slowly eliminating the dairy and meat, what do you call it? Animal-based stuff. And then the phase 2, they call it release. So you're just literally cleansing things out. So you phasing it in, phasing out the bulk stuff, and releasing everything else. And then the phase 3 is the restore, and that's where you're doing the probiotic and restoring your gut. But what's more interesting is that it just doesn't stop there. Just to be mindful that it takes another week after this to reintroduce the grain, because by this time you're a total vegan, and then reintroduce grain into your system again. And then the second week is the animal products like eggs and chicken. So it's interesting. 3-day refresh. It's like, I can't wait to go have a steak or something afterwards, you know, and it's like, well, I have to be a little mindful, because I felt so good cleaning my gut, and then I just polluted again, you know. So it's just being mindful afterwards, and allow your system to restore, and then get back into your regular eating patterns. So anyways, I geek out on this now, so thanks, Louise.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So if you're kind of like on the fence of doing the 21-day ultimate reset with us, highly encourage it. It's a bit of work in the kitchen, but you'll enjoy the food. You'll get new appreciation for different foods. It really, really does make your body feel better. So we're going to do that in August. Gotta start getting the mind ready. All right, ladies, have a wonderful weekend, and let's take a quick boomerang. Keep forgetting to do that. And so everybody, good. Awesome. All right. Have a safe, wonderful weekend. Bye.
Bye.